guys, today's video is going to be basically my 5 tips of what to do with a newborn. During this newborn stage, it's so important to create really good, healthy habits with them because it's gonna make those times around 4, 5, 6 months and older a lot easier. These are things that I learned that I was honestly really happy that we did with her, that we really implemented in the beginning because it's made our lives so much easier. Just remember though that every baby is different and there's different temperaments. There's easygoing, there's slow to warm, and there's difficult. These tips though can make life a little bit easier if you really stay consistent with them. The biggest thing is with babies is always being consistent. Routine, consistency is everything. You'll know that because once you get on a routine, 1, your life will be so much easier, and then 2, you break that routine, they're crazy. That's through any stage of life with kids, like from baby to toddler to older. Routine is everything. They thrive off of routine. So these 5 tips that I'm going to share with you guys are going to make life a little bit easier. You just have to stay consistent with it. The first one is noise. I know this is going to be so hard for some parents because when you get that baby to sleep, you do not want to wake that baby up. No, you don't want to wake that baby up, right? Because you're like, they just finally fell asleep. But being loud when they take their naps during the day is actually pretty important because that means it's going to train them to sleep through anything. Don't be scared to run that vacuum or walk or talk or anything like that. You want them to get used to that noise. And I was told this by so many people. Even if I wanted to be quiet, I couldn't because of Elsa. Elsa is such a loud dog. She barks like crazy, but Riley is so used to her. She just kind of like looks at her and I'm just like, whatever. Or she'll just sleep right through it and doesn't even faze her now. It's so funny. Honestly, like that now, like being loud and not trying to be quiet, not trying to tiptoe around her, she's the best napper now. I could be loud and whatnot, she'll sleep right through it. So that's my first tip, is basically don't tiptoe around them. Let them get used to that noise. Let them get used to sleeping through it. It will make your life so much easier in the future. All right, so tip number 2, bedtime routine. In all honesty, you're not gonna get them on a solid routine in the beginning. So I've said this in past videos, but if you're new watching this, I used to be a preschool teacher, and our way to transition the kids to circle time from playtime, they would just put a song on the CD. So they would just hear the song and they would know what to do. We wouldn't tell them what to do. They just know, and that was their cue. And it kind of eased the transition from going from kind of loudness to very quietness and calmness very smoothly. Well, I kind of did the same thing with Riley. So every single time that she went down for bed and I would want to get her down for bed, I would play Baby Mozart Lullaby on my phone or on the Alexa, and I would play it every single night. So she would hear it and she'd know, okay, it's time for bed. I need to go to sleep. And then I would also play the shusher. So now with her being 6.5 months, she goes and sleeps in her own room now, and we never had a problem with her sleeping in her own room ever. Like I could just put her in there, she's totally fine. She's not scared of it, nothing. So I literally just set her down. I tell Alexa to play Baby Mozart Lullaby, turn on the shusher, and I walk out the door and I turn on the baby monitor and she's out in like a minute. It is crazy, but that's all I do. And it's because I trained her to that sound, that song, and the songs, they stop playing like after 15 minutes. It doesn't stay on all night, but just her hearing that, she knows, all right, it's time for bed. That's that's her solid routine there. So I start kind of like sleep training them like that from the beginning. So then when they start going in their own room, or when they start like, sleeping through the night and getting ready for bedtime, they know that. And also her bedtime is strictly 8 o'clock. Like we know that she's gonna go down at 8. Sometimes she might go down at like 7:40, but it's usually strictly at 8. So bedtime routine is everything. Just find a routine and stick with it and keep doing it each night. If you give them a bath, read them a book, play them the music, put them down for bed. Boom. Every single night, do it consistently and they'll know, and that prepares them for sleep. So that is a good thing to start from the beginning. All right, so tip number 3 is letting other people hold your baby. With Riley, we have so much family near us. We have my parents that are down the street. We have my sister and my brother-in-law that are around the corner. We have all our family near us. And so from the beginning, people have constantly been holding her, like other people, and I've been totally fine with that. I did get a little worrisome with some people, but that's because I could sense that they weren't comfortable, so I would keep a very close eye on it. But then others that I trusted, I could just walk away and be fine. Like, I've never really been what you would call a helicopter mom with it. I only get kind of on edge if I can sense it's not comfortable, and I can sense it very easily. With her, I let everyone just hold her. Anyone can hold her now. Like, she is the most easygoing baby. I could hand her to someone and she'll be totally fine. She'll be like, all right. So definitely allow other people to hold them. Just make sure they wash their hands. You guys know, with all the newborn stuff, make sure they're sanitized, all that. It's just so important because you want other people to get used to taking them and also watching them, like our family members. They babysat her from the beginning. She's been so used to them. But I can also, she's had no problem with the daycare. She's so used to her. Doesn't matter. She's just very comfortable now. And she doesn't get that separation anxiety, which is amazing. So definitely let others hold them and let the baby get used to other people around them. It will really make that transition a lot easier for them, especially when they go to school. I would have some kids that would start school for the very first time in my classroom. Whew, it was hard, it was rough. That first week is always very, very rough. But then you would get some kids that'd be like their first day of school and they'd be like, I got this. That's how I was. I was very like, I'm good, mom, bye. But there's some that aren't. So to really like try to start implementing and trying to like limit that separation anxiety and basically create that really strong attachment to where they're very secure with you and they know that you're gonna be there for them, like that you're not leaving them, then definitely have others hold them. So that is one very big tip too, to also prepare for the future. All right, so tip number 4 is staying calm around them. Babies can sense anything. They can sense when you don't feel comfortable. They can sense when you are very tense. And if you stay very calm and have a very calm demeanor, they're very relaxed and calm. That's one thing. I know that there's like sometimes where it might be hard because you're like, I'm tired, I'm stressed, I want this to break. But just staying calm is huge for them and it helps them to be calm. It's just all that about that demeanor. It's crazy, but you can definitely sense like if you get like a little stressed or a little tense, the baby can feel it and they get a little like, you know, like irritated and not like the kind of like fussy. So definitely always try to stay calm around them. And if you are kind of at your breaking point, that's when you have to go to your partner or any other family friend or anyone and say, hey, can you help me out? I need a break. I'm at my breaking point, and then let them come in and tap out and you go take a break. All right, so tip number 5 is independent play, and this is very important. So with Riley, I played with her a ton one-on-one. Joel's played with her a ton one-on-one. That is so important right there. But what's also very important is independent play, being able to set them down and let them learn to basically entertain themselves and making them comfortable with that and secure with that, because there's some babies that you'll go to set them down and they don't want to be set down, they want to be held because mom held them 24/7. No, don't do that. You want to be able to give them some independent time so that way they don't have to feel like they have to be held 24/7 and you can actually get a break. It is so important. That's why I really love the kick and play, because that one, she's got the toy arch above her, she's got the piano keys down by her legs. That I can like put her there, she's good, I can go do dishes and whatnot. That has been huge for us. It's like even when my grandma even knows that she's like, she can be so content with just being by herself. And it's true. A lot of it is her temperament because she's very easygoing, but it's also because I was very strict about her having that like, you know, alone time each day to where she can learn to entertain herself and get that stimulation herself. And I don't have to be there constantly, you know, giving her the attention that she needs because she can do it herself. So it's so important. So start doing that in the beginning. And newborns, I know it's a little hard because they're so little and they're sleeping all the time, but just also let them sleep like in a safe sleeping area. Don't just hold them every single time they sleep during the day. Like let them be on their own, and it really makes them a little bit more comfortable and secure with themselves when they are by themselves, and that will allow you to have a little bit more freedom. So definitely do independent play. The kick and play from Fisher, I think, is it from Fisher Price, I believe? Amazing. It is so good. I will have that one linked down below. I love that. Now that she's sitting up, we do the activity seat from Summer Infant, and then we do the bouncer from Disney. So Those things are awesome. Is she in them 24/7? No. I only put her in there for a short period of time, but that's her time for herself and she does great with it. So that's something that we did from the beginning. All right, so those were my 5 tips on creating good habits with a newborn. So tip number 1, as a quick recap, is noise. Don't be afraid to be loud around them when they're sleeping. Let them get used to that noise, so that way they'll sleep through anything. And then number 2, bedtime routine. Remember that babies aren't really gonna get on a solid routine until about 5-6 months, to be honest. But doing a bedtime routine in the beginning, giving them those cues, knowing that it's time for bed, will help you further down the line. Just also be very worrisome that those are sleep aids. So if you don't want to nurse them to sleep, if you don't want to rock them to sleep, then try not to do that. Number 3 is to let others hold them. Let them get used to others holding them. Let them get used to being away from mom, to get that secure attachment and to bring down the chances of having really bad separation anxiety. And number 4 is to always try to stay calm around the baby. If you are knowing that you're at your breaking point and that you are done, let someone know so that way they can take over for a bit and give you a break. But staying calm really helps them stay calm too. And number 5, independent play. Let them be used to being by themselves. Obviously, always be supervising them, but let them be used to learning how to entertain themselves, giving themselves the stimulation and not you constantly there giving it for them. So I hope that these tips help you guys. Let me know what you have learned with a newborn that has really helped you guys in the comments down below. I always love reading other advice from other moms. I love talking with you guys, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.